All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and citations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. I'm going to title this video, Trump is not gonna save y'all from prophecy, including Deuteronomy 30:7. And I got this article. Watch, Trump brings a woman to tears by signing her MAGA hat. We need you back. Former President Donald Trump has had an emotional encounter with one supporter who was so grateful he stopped to sign her hat that she was moved to tears. We need you back, quote unquote, cried the woman as she stood behind a rope line with a throng of supporters surrounding the 45th president at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf course over the weekend. My name is Beth. Can you please write that? She asked after President Trump handed her the hat. She put it on before breaking down in sobs. Elsewhere at the event, President Trump stood above a crowd while he tossed supporters more of his signature Make America Great Again caps. After throwing four from behind the railing, the Republican leader watched as hundreds below began chanting USA, USA. President Trump certainly has much to celebrate, with polls showing him leading the GOP race for president so forcefully that he is total skipping the first debate of the Republican National Committee's calendar set to be held in Milwaukee later this month. He has opposed a mandate that candidates may only join if they pledge to support the party's eventual nominee, and has floated the idea of a competing event of his own. And hey, a lot when you examine the reasons why a lot of you Edomites support Donald Trump, it's really because of Deuteronomy 30:7. Deuteronomy 30:7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And when you look at it, it's when you look at who they blame for who these Edomites, who y'all Edomites blame for the downfall of America, this besides the deep state, the elites, besides them, it's the so-called black man and the Latino man. When you look at it, when you really examine the reason why. Because now, you Edomites, you self-proclaimed so-called white people, the good majority of y'all are Edomites, except for the Israelite foreigners, are blaming, are starting to feel the effects. Y'all are starting to be the first, fire last hired. Y'all are starting to get hit with y'all getting hit by something similar to the crack epidemic, the opioid epidemic. Y'all being struck with madness, you know. Shit, y'all getting fucked over by your own people, these elites. And the Democrats and a government that doesn't give a fuck about you. And y'all are divided. Some of y'all are Democratic and some of y'all are Republican. For example, so at home, here in Babylon, y'all are divided. And also overseas between Russia and Babylon, which is America. So Deuteronomy 30:7 is starting to happen. Y'all are feeling the effects of it, and it's just y'all are just getting the taste of these curses. Compared to what Jake has been going through, y'all are just getting a taste. You know, y'all are starting to get manhandled by the cops and shit. You know, that's starting to happen to y'all. You know, another example. You know, the Shedemite women, they're starting to become single moms and shit. It used to be Eve. Eve used to be the face of that, and she still is. But now you're having Shedemite women starting to join that roster of single moms. So y'all are starting to feel effects of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Hey, the Montgomery Brawl was another example. Y'all tried to pick a fight with the Jake. Y'all was jumping the Jake. You know, you pick a fight with the Jake security guard, so-called black security guard, and jumped him, but y'all got jumped by other Jakes. And you have Edomites taking the side of those Jakes that jumped the Edomites that were jumping that Jake. You have actual Edomites that took the side of those Jakes. Just like, I'm not saying this is y'all just getting a taste, right? It's just a taste. Compared to what our people been dealing with, y'all just getting a taste. But showing that y'all are divided. You even have Edomites taking the side of those Jakes. It used to not be like that. And y'all used to not be experiencing any of those curses. You know, you used to be all on Jake. And that's what y'all mean when y'all be like, we want to make America great again. That's what y'all mean. That's what y'all mean. You want to make it great for so-called white people. But I'm here to tell y'all that Trump is not going to save y'all from prophecy. Trump is not going to save y'all from America going down. He's not going to save y'all from Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. Even even if there happens to be an election in 2024, man. Even if there happens to be a selection, I call them, because all presidents are selected, including Trump. He was selected, and now Biden. All presidents are selected, which he was the father of the vaccine, Salakio, of the vaccine. It was a very vaccine. He was the father of that vaccine, and he bragged about it. So y'all act like he didn't do shit for the deep state, like push the V word. Because in reality, Trump is like a false messiah for y'all, just like how we had so-called leaders of our people that were really false messiahs, man. Like Tupac. When you look into Tupac, man, that dude was nothing but a mole, and he promoted he promoted that thug life shit, man, which has been nothing but detrimental to our people. And he did say some shit about the Illuminati, but then he said put a K to that shit. Then you have MLK, who posed with the Rothschilds in a picture showing you how juiced in he was, and confessed to integrating our people into a burning house. His words, look it up. Now you low level devils, you lowercase Edomites, y'all get to experience having a false Messiah, get your hopes up only for him to let y'all down. Because just like no man could save us, no man could save us. Hold on, let me find that one scripture where it says that no man shall save thee. Hold on. I'm gonna have to Google it. Yup. Deuteronomy 28 and 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and shall not prosper in thy ways, and shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. No man shall save thee. This is like the beginning of that. This is what our people have been experiencing, but this is the beginning of that for y'all with Trump. Because, so it's a part of Deuteronomy 30 and 7, because Trump is not going to be able to save y'all from drinking of that cup. Hey, Lamentations 4 and 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. This is the last go around, man. This is talking about this time around. He will no more carry thee into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. That's why we say right now to Edomites. That's why we say right now to Edomites, verse 21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. Yeah, you gonna drink, man. You gonna drink that cup. Thou shalt surely drink. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. You know, even if Trump was to win the selection, they end up selecting Trump again, you know. And this whole and this whole and this whole um Trump getting indicted for shit is a psyop to get y'all to support him. Oh, he's the enemy of the deep state. Look at how persecuted he is. Which it could be. So even if it is, which it could be, and they could be selecting him to be the next president. Let's say it is, and he wins. He's not gonna do anything but push their agenda. You know, he's not gonna do anything but push their agenda. You know, yeah, there's gonna be a few differences, because you do have a few differences between the Democratic and Republican Party. You do got a few of them, a few differences, but it's mainly the how the agenda is pushed and what aspects of the agenda are pushed. You know, and maybe what aspects of the agenda are pushed. You know, like the Republicans are usually, I say usually, more about law and order, meaning they're gonna crack down on shit. And they're more about, so more of a police state. More of a police state. Which the Democrats have their own way of pushing the police state too, because they have, they'll push it, they'll push wars and shit like that in the name of human rights. Versus Republicans usually do it in the name of national security. That's usually how it's been. But if the elites allow Trump to get back in there, they select him for the job again, then if they do that, because they could just rig the election to so Biden wins again. They could just do that and have y'all riled up. That could be the also the purpose behind it, that so y'all get riled up behind Trump. And there's a civil war, because the civil war is in the scriptures. A civil war in the U.S. is in the scriptures, because America is also known as Egypt in the scriptures, the house of bondage. So a civil war is in the scriptures. This could be how civil war happens. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. It could have to do the election. Some shit could have to do with the selection. Shit could happen before the selection. Before the... Actually, they're selected before the election. But you get what I'm saying. Before November of 2024, my bad, Salakia. 2024. Shit could pop off before then. Seeing how fast things are moving, shit could pop off before then. And there'll be no election. Or, like I mentioned, the elites could rig it again. The elites could rig it again and put Biden back up in there, but the people not. But you, especially you conservatives, especially you Republican Edomites, y'all are not gonna be for it. Y'all gonna be riled up. And what did Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ, what did Yahweh Shai say about a divided house? Matthew 24 and 25, and Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Verse 26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So, how is this kingdom gonna stand? And it is a kingdom, it's a queendom. We call it a queendom because because for the majority of us, if you're not of the elites, especially if you're a Jake, women rule over us here. So it's a queendom for us. But this queendom is divided. Really, it always has been, but now it's even more divided, and even sharply divided. Even more sharply divided. And the elites, they foolishly had this country to be divided. Starting with the founding fathers, right? Had this country to be divided. And then after the Civil War, they didn't end that division. They didn't outlaw political parties. They continued it. So this country was created to be divided, with two horns, the two horns like a lamb. Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Verse 12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, which is Rome, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And before, in times past, and times when the times that y'all want to bring, that you conservative Edomites, you Republican Edomites want to bring this country back to, you basically had what is called patriotism. Even though there was two different parties, they all believed in the American dream. But now there's another scripture that has to do with why it ain't like that no more. This is starting to happen, and it's going to accelerate. Isaiah 19:3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. So the spirit of Egypt, right? The spirit of Egypt, America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Is failing in the midst thereof. And that's just going to continue. And I'll destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and the charmers, and them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. What's going to happen next? After all these wars, well, this has two meanings. Verse 4 is two meanings. One meaning is that you're going to have a new world order being attempted by the elites of Esau. With the FEMA camps and all that, the Mark of the Beast, MOTB, the MOTB, and martial law, 15-minute cities, all that. You're going to have a new world order attempted by these elites. That's the first meaning of the scripture, but, well, that's one of the meanings. And the other meaning is after World War III, which is going to it's going to be led, the other countries led by Russia are going to attack America and nuke this place. Because the allies of America are going to turn against America. So, including Britain, all of them are going to turn against America. And the Edomites are the modern day spiritual Egyptians, if you will. So, verse 4, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh, Yahweh of hosts. So, like I said, there's two meanings to that scripture, verse 4, and both are going to be fulfilled. You're going to have a new world order attempted by these devils at the top, these elite Edomites. They're going to try to chip everybody, but they're not going to be successful. Because the elect is definitely not getting chipped. The elect of the nation of Israel is definitely not getting chipped. You're going to have others who resist, but they're going to either fold up or they're going to get put to death by the martial law troops and shit, or the super soldiers. But the elect is, for the most part, the elect is going to be straight. The ones who get put to death, we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye. They're going to rise first. But for the most part, most of the world's population that's still alive after Jacob's trouble is going to get chipped. But they're not going to be all the way successful because they really want the elect. But this is why they're going to engineer a civil war. That's why they're engineering a civil war. That's one of the reasons. And a race war. That's why they created this country to be divided. I mean, it says New World Order on your dollar bill. Annual coeptus novus ordo seclorum. Novus ordo seclorum means New World Order. It says it on the back of your dollar bill. So Esau created this country to be divided on purpose, to divide and conquer, to eventually create a civil war type scenario. They engineered the first one. The first one was about transferring slaves from one from a bunch of owners to one owner, the Rothschild elite, when you really look at it. They were emancipated. Emancipated goes back to emancipare, which means transfer of ownership. And when you look at it, they were transferred from being owned. Jake was being transferred from being owned by your average Edomites and Amalekites, because a lot of them were owned by 48ers. To being owned directly by the elites. But that was why that was the reason for the first Civil War. Now you had a second Civil War that's coming up. You have a second one that's coming up. City against city, everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor. City against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Because it's not going to be like the last Civil War where there was whole states. You're going to have cities fighting against. You have cities against the rest of the states. The large cities against the rest of the states. And so you have parts of red states that are going to be standing with the blue states. And then you're going to have parts of blue states that are going to be standing with the red states. So city against city and kingdom against kingdom, which that would be World War III. Well, basically, Trump, he's not going to save y'all from Deuteronomy 30:7, because even if Trump was sincere, even if he was sincere, he wouldn't be able to save y'all. Because it's prophecy. No one can stop prophecy. Isaiah 14 and or just this one. Isaiah 14 and 27. For the Lord of hosts, Yahweh, hath proposed, and who shall disannul it? His hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? Who shall disannul it? Who gonna disannul what the Most High, Yahweh, has proposed? Who gonna do it? Nobody can. So, it's prophesied that y'all devils are going down. It's prophesied that Babylon is going down. It's going to be destroyed. And so not even Trump, nobody, not even Trump can stop it from happening. So, to you do have Jakes that support Trump. You do have Jakes that support Trump. To you Jakes out there they're supporting Trump because you Edomites are through. Edomites are through. You know, y'all through whether Trump wins the next election or not. You know, y'all are through. Y'all are through, and 2/3 are through on this side. But for you Jakes that get this message, for you so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners that get this message, and some for like the few of y'all that support Trump, and y'all get this message too. You know, wake up. Wake up. They're not going to stop America from falling. And plus, the reason why these Edomites, who you may think are your friends, are supporting Trump is because they want to return Babylon back to the old way of oppressing your tribes. Not saying Biden is better, because Biden, you know, he hates your tribes too. You know, Biden, he said that it was a problem that you so-called blacks and Latinos are becoming a majority. That's a problem. So, and he said other shit about you tribes, other racist shit about you tribes. Because they want to introduce a new way of oppressing you tribes. Like, remember, these devils, they're the ones that pushed the V word hard. They're the ones that did it. You know, Trump and then Biden. They both pushed it on you tribes. And that, that juice is still taking lives. It's still catching bodies, man. Esau is still catching bodies off that juice. To this day, it's more died suddenly to come. But with that, oh yeah, and some of y'all Jakes think that Trump is gonna, that Biden, realize that Biden, you know, was was a mistake, and y'all think that Trump is gonna save y'all. You know, Trump ain't gonna save nobody. Some of you Jakes that support Trump think that, you know, Trump is the one, you know, we should support the Republicans instead. You know, he's gonna save us along with the rest of America from destruction. But Trump ain't gonna save nobody. So y'all are trusting in a false messiah as well. But with that, I hope this video is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the Akim out there spread this truth like wildfire in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. Shalom, stay strong. And Ababa Ball, dead to Babylon. Abadla Adawamium, dead to these Edomites. Abadla Gawayim, dead to these other nations. And Abadla Ayab Yamnawa, death to our enemies. The rest of them being 2/3 of the so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans and Israelite foreigners looking like the other nations who live here in the States as well, in the States, which is Babylon, as well as those who live outside Babylon, scattered to the four corners of the earth, and who are not destined to come here in these last days. Well, the rebels among y'all, because that 2/3 thing applies to Babylon the Great, but you do have rebellious Israelites outside of Babylon, living outside of Babylon, and they're not destined to come to Babylon in these last days, but they're rebellious and wicked, and they're gonna die a painful death as well. But yeah, Shalom, stay strong. Ababa Ball and Yasher Allah forever.